The president of Tunisia, he declared that he is going to be invoking the article number 80 on Sunday. He did that actually on Sunday, even though there was no guarantee that this invoking of article, basically dismissing the parliament and dismissing the prime minister, in other words, it was almost like a coup. So the people are saying, even though there was no meaningful changes that was promised or guaranteed through this invoking of this article, nevertheless, people came out on the street, went to the parliament, and they were cheering for this change. Now, why this is happening right now, why this coup is taking place, or why this unrest is taking place? It is because of the blistering unemployment, youth unemployment in Tunisia, number one. Number two is government debt. Number three, dear brothers and sisters, is corruption. The government is corrupt. And number four is the COVID. All of this created this environment, this vicious environment in which these people, the Tunisian brothers and sisters, they are living for a very long time. So now they are saying it is about time that we bring change. Now, remember, South Africa, I actually reported on this. South Africa, they experienced a similar thing earlier this month. Also Cuba, and now it's Tunisia's turn. Also, what we know, dear brothers and sisters, is that Tunisia is the birthplace of the Arab Spring. If you remember the Arab Spring that took place in the year 2011, that never stopped. In fact, there were like dozens of governments who took office in Tunisia. All of them have failed. The average economic growth between 2011 and 2019 in Tunisia, underwhelming 1.5%, means they did not actually gain anything, rather they lost. Okay, 1.5% according to the World Bank. The investment, the export business, all are gone. Yet corruption is on the rise. Tunisia, in other words, dear brothers and sisters, is in a very dire situation right now. Also, Tunisia, because of this, corruption and all of these things are going on, they could never go back to the pre-Arab Spring strength, but corruption is still there. I want to make a few comments, okay, on the situation of Tunisia, and inshallah I will be sharing with you this map, so that you know where Tunisia is. Let me vanish myself, and then I will what Tunisia is. So Tunisia is right here. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen. Tunisia is right here, and Tunisia has neighboring countries. For example, Saudi Arabia. As you can see, Saudi Arabia is right here, and this is Tunisia. They have Algeria, Libya, Egypt is right here, as you can see. Italy is there, but Tunisia is also close to Israel, Lebanon, Syria, Jordan. Okay, so they are all very close. I think only Libya and Egypt. After Libya and Egypt, you can go to Israel from Tunisia. Okay, or the Middle East, the Lebanon, the country Lebanon, Syria, and those places. Okay, so in other words, Tunisia is a very important strategic location. Okay, it has a very important strategic location. In terms of when we talk about end of time, Tunisia does have that importance. So we cannot neglect Tunisia. When we talk about the end of time, we cannot neglect, because again, look at the map. It's very close to all these important places in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia, Sudan, Chad, Niger, all of these countries are very close to each other. So a few points that I want to make mention, dear brothers and sisters, in this video as we talk about the end of time. Number one is COVID. Okay, COVID, as I said in the beginning when it started, I said the COVID has the ability or the potential to pivot the status quo, and this is exactly what is happening right now. Every country, wallahi, every country, they are suffering because of COVID. There is inequality in societies. People are getting more desperate. There is no job. COVID, in other words, is devastating what we know today, a sound economy that, in fact, we do not have any sound economy, a strong economy in the world. Everybody is kind of like now struggling with their own finances, and US is spending trillions of dollars to bring their economy back on track. They're spending billions of dollars in infrastructure. We know UK is also struggling, Australia, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, you name it, all of these countries, including even Israel. So COVID, dear brothers and sisters, will and has changed the status quo the one we knew before COVID. Number 2 is rulers will not give us our right, they will neglect us. This is the case with most of the Muslim countries, unfortunately, where the rulers are very corrupt. As I mentioned about Tunisia, one of the reasons for this unrest is corruption. Rasulullah SAW, he mentioned about this, innakum satarawna ba'di asratan, innakum satarawna ba'di asratan fasbir hatta talqawni. The Prophet SAW, he said that after me you will have rulers who will not give you your rights. Fasbir, have patience until you meet me, means until you die. So we have to be very, very patient with whatever is happening, and very, very wise in terms of doing things. Do not, in other words, do not get riled up, and do something frivolous, do something very stupid, because then wallahi, you are not one of those people that Rasulullah SAW wants to meet. If you are acting up, if you are acting irrationally, and you're losing it, you are giving a bad impression to the rest of the world about Muslims, about the Islamic countries, then wallahi, this is not what the ummah of Rasulullah SAW would be. Nevertheless, he did mention, this is why he mentioned in the hadith, that after me you will have rulers who will not give you your rights. Be patient. Number 3 point that is also very, very important, is perhaps the most important point of this talk, is that, dear sisters, this is just the beginning. What we are seeing right now is just the beginning. As I said, Cuba had it, South Africa had it, now Tunisia is having it. Lebanon, I made another video where I said Lebanon was failing, and they are. The price, the gas price and everything is just unbelievable, it's out of reach. So the point here is that it is just the beginning. We might see, and I think we will, unfortunately, we will see a lot of this chaotic situation and swing in the region, in the entire world. And dear brothers and sisters, when we talk about the coming of the Mahdi, okay, this is the perfect environment in which the Mahdi will appear. The reason I'm saying this is because of the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As I mentioned this hadith many times in the past, that for Mahdi to appear, the world has to have a lot of inequality, oppression, injustice. When you see these things are spiraling out of control, the government system and the world system is spiraling out of control, and nobody is controlling anybody, rather it is dependent on individual choice and opinion, then you see a lot of fasad taking place, a lot of inequality, oppression and injustice taking place. And that is the time when the Mahdi will come. Yamul ard kist wal adl kama muliyat zawran wa zulma. Rasulullah said he will fill the earth with adl and kist, justice and equality, just as it was filled with injustice and oppression. What is happening right now in Indonesia, again, very, very unfortunate, but we as believers should not give up our hope, and inshallah pray that the end of time the Muslims will be safe. And it is a promise from Allah that Allah will take care of the Muslims, as Allah said in the Quran, wa aqibatu lil muttaqin, and the end is to the muttaqin. So I have comments here. Al-Mahdiya, assalamu alaikum, may Allah bless Tunisia. Wa alaikum assalam, inshallah, may Allah bless all the Muslim countries and bless the world with justice and equality. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.